my channel. So today is going to be a little different, or this video is going to be a little different. I wanted to talk about a subject that has been very impactful on my life and has really made a difference on who I am as a person, and it's something that I struggle with all the time. So I wanted to talk a little bit about mental health, and specifically suicide, or having feelings of being suicidal. The reason why I'm choosing to talk about this is that actually so I'm adopted, and when I was 10, my birth mother actually committed suicide. I had an open adoption, and I knew my family. I knew I still know my sisters, and my mom and my grandma, and my aunts, and everybody. I knew everyone. So when she passed away, it was very real for me. It took me a long time to even really comprehend, because when you're little, I was young. I was only 10, and I remember very vividly how it happened, or how I was told. My mother who raised me, my adopted mother, she brought me in. She sat me on the end of her bed, and she just kind of looked at me, and I could tell she had been, she didn't really know what to say, and I honestly thought I was in trouble. And she just kind of looked at me, and she said, "Caitlin, Connie, she's gone. She passed away." And at first I didn't really get it. It wasn't for a while that I was actually told how she passed away. And at first I think that I kind of just ignored it. I just, I didn't see her that much anyway, and so I'll be fine. It's not gonna have a big impact on me. And I think honestly that's how a lot of other people thought I would take it as well. But the older I got, the more and more my heart just ached for her to be around. And it still does, every day. What kind of person would I be now if I still had her? Maybe I could have helped. Maybe I could have been there. And that's some of the thoughts that I started to have as I got older too, as well. What if I had been there for her? What if I could have made a difference? What if she had me? What if she got to keep me, and then maybe this wouldn't have happened? I also felt an extreme amount of guilt, because I felt like I didn't deserve to miss her. Being that I got to be raised in a whole other family, and I never wanted for anything. I had sort of what everyone would call, the perfect childhood. Anything I wanted, I could have, and I always had food and a nice house, and I went to a private school, and what else could anybody want, And my sisters grew up a little differently than me, but they were the ones that were always with her. They're the ones who know her favorite color and what kind of cereal she liked, and all those things. And it's things like that that I don't know that hurt the most. And I always felt like because I didn't know her like they did, I didn't deserve to miss her. And I struggle with that. And then as I got older, I also struggle with major depression and anxiety. I do have a specific anxiety disorder, and I dealt with those for as long as I can remember. And I didn't understand at first how someone could get to that point where they would want to take their own life, where they could actually take their own life. Until I got there myself. Multiple occasions. And by all accounts, I am a very happy person all the time, positive and goofy and giggly, and even now, I mean, if you look at my Instagram page or you're around me on a regular basis, I'm pretty much always smiling and laughing and making jokes, and I don't think anyone ever look at me and think that I'm depressed or that, you know, whatever. But the thing is that depression doesn't look like any one thing, and the people who typically struggle with it the most are the ones who have learned how to hide it the best. See, I've been dealing with depression and, you know, essentially mental illness for so long that it's nothing for me to flip a switch and hide it from everyone else, because no one wants to be around someone who's depressed. Other people don't like to feel uncomfortable. People don't know what to say or do, so you learn to hide it, and you just shove everything down into this deep dark black hole into your heart, and you hide it until it builds and it builds and it builds, and it just feels like it's eating you from the inside out, and that doing anything is so heavy and so dark and so overwhelming that you just can't do it anymore. And when I say any task means is too much, I mean eating, I mean taking a shower, putting on clothes, are also overwhelming that you don't want to get out of bed, and that all you want to do is sleep, because sleep feels like the closest thing to death. For me, I obviously have been unsuccessful in my 3 suicide attempts. And yes, I said 3. Each time I never got close to dying. I would get to a point in it where I became more afraid of what it would feel like to die, so I would stop. It didn't mean that I didn't want to be dead. I still very much wanted to die. I just was more afraid of what it would feel like to die than actually die. And after that, I moved to sort of what they call a passive suicide, where I gave up attempting to hurt myself, but I would just hope that someone else would kill me, whether it be a car accident or whatever. You just hope, or you get cancer and die, or something terrible, just because then it could be over, but you wouldn't have to do it yourself. Other than just losing my mom, I've been through a lot of things in my life that I wouldn't put on anybody. And a lot of that contributed to how I felt about myself and about life, and about whether or not I wanted to keep living it. I just thought it would be important to share this because so many people struggle on a daily basis with these same thoughts. And you're your own worst enemy, let me tell you. When everything in your life is going right, when you've got a great job in your own place and your friends love you and you're getting along with your family and all you want to do is die, people tell you, what's wrong with you? Everything's going great, you know? And that's when you really start to think, yeah, what's wrong with me? How come I'm not normal? How come I can't just function like everyone else? And you start to beat yourself up over not being normal, but it happens to more people than you think. I personally am a suicide survivor. I personally am a survivor of someone who has committed suicide. And I can tell you, it's not fun to be on either side. Having been to that point myself, knowing that my mom was at that point, feeling how she must have felt, it breaks my heart. And now as I'm older and I have a better understanding, a little bit better handle on my feelings, I realized that I would never want my friends and my family to have the feeling that I have of losing my mom, you know? I don't want them to have to be on the other end of it. Because I question all the time. What if? And I'm never gonna have those answers. But I know that she wouldn't want me to go down that path too. That the choices she made for me to be where I am were not so that I could feel this way. And just please, if someone comes to you and they tell you that they're depressed, don't brush it off. It's a real thing. And anybody can be depressed, even if you don't think they're depressed, or they don't look like they're depressed, or act like they're depressed. There is no one set behavior or appearance for someone who suffers from depression. And I think it's really important that we give it more attention. Kids now more than ever are struggling with mental illness and depression and wanting to commit suicide, and if me sharing my testimony can help even just one person, it makes a difference to me. I just wanted to share. I don't want anyone's pity. I don't want anyone flooding my comments with, you know, sending thoughts and prayers and all that. That's great and I appreciate it. But I just wanted to put this out there because I think it's really important for people who have any span of influence to share this, to make it normalized so that people don't feel targeted when they bring this up. They don't feel like no one's listening. They don't feel like they don't have anyone that has their back. So please, if you're struggling, there are people who can help you. It doesn't have to be the end. There is life after the sadness, I promise. And I'm not perfect. Despite all of the good things that have been happening lately, I still have really dark days, really dark moments. That little voice in the back of my head is still there. just choose to focus on the better moments. And I have friends and family who love me and they support me. And I've learned that if I need help, there are people out there that can help me. So even if this doesn't apply directly to you, maybe you know someone who it applies to, or maybe you know someone who knows someone. There's always someone closer than you think. I hope this helps open your eyes a little bit. And thank you all for watching. It's not an easy topic for me, but there are going to be other topics that I'm going to go over about things in my life that have caused me these this sort of pain to help other people. If you know anything about my journey, it's that I've been really working out a lot and changing my lifestyle, and now that I'm not turning to food to cope, I'm having to deal with a lot of this pain and this emotion that I've been hiding by eating food. So April 19th is actually the anniversary of when my mom passed away, which is why I'm choosing to release this video now. So I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch. If you want to continue to watch me vlog with happier memories, if you want to continue to watch me to talk about my mental health and other major issues that will come up down the road, please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share this if you think it will help somebody else. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.